So, what do I think of the Echo and Echo Dot after living with them for a few months now? So, it's been a while now since the Echo Dot was released in the UK. So that has now been sitting proudly in my house. And I have around 6 Echo Dots, I believe, in action. So I think what I'm about to say is based on good user testing and living with these products day in and day out for a while. So I'm going to kind of speak about this probably a little bit more in a general smart home video, but right now I'm going to focus specifically on the Echo devices. So overall, I'm really happy with them. I do think it's got some of the best voice recognition out there in terms of this type of device. I still think this is like a million times better than Siri. Never got on well with that, but this is working quite well. I haven't tried out the Google Home, but from some of the online reviews I've seen, I'm still happy with the purchase. So I have these dotted around the home and office. So I have one in the office, got some in the garage, a few different ones in the house. So basically anywhere that I feel there's a situation where I may want to use one of these devices. So in general, I would say things I'm typically using them for are for calendar, for music, for shopping lists, reminders, and general information. And then I'm also using it as a kind of central hub for my smart home, which we'll talk about in a little bit more detail in another video, but this is to control lighting, cameras, temperature, etc. So in terms of what I do like about the device, I do like how there is integration for a lot of the things that I like. So there's integration for Philips Hue bulbs, there's integration for the Tado home thermostats, there's integration with the Google Calendars, there's integration with Spotify. So all these things that I like and use, there's integration for. However, some of that integration isn't great. And so where the frustrations really come around is when you're giving an instruction and the Echo has to communicate with another one of those devices, so a different hub, and things don't always work. So you may ask it to turn on the living room light and it says okay, that light doesn't come on. And the reason for that is there's also been some breakdown in communication between the Echo device and the Philips hub. So you have to issue the command again, and then it works. Another one that I found quite recently is when you're trying to turn on a hall light. So this is a light in a hall. Not all of your lights, but what I find happens commonly, again, it's just a voice recognition issue. You'll ask to turn on the hall light and all lights will turn off, or you'll ask to turn off the hall light and all the lights will come off. So we're looking at changing the name of that device. And really that's where all the kind of frustrations that happen come down to, is the interpretation of the spoken language and how it can interpret it. So definitely can cause frustration in the house. The other issue being obviously it's not voice identity recognition, so anyone in the house can ask for anything, it's going to do it. So where it's when the kids asking for something, just interrupting, so you end up kind of a bit in an echo battle sometimes. I do like how the kind of voice array system works. So you can be kind of in the center of the house and you'll ask a question and the Echo device closest to you is the one that responds. I think that works really well. I'm really impressed with that. You can generate confusion, however, with this. So if someone's trying to turn on lights upstairs and someone's trying to turn on lights downstairs, and you just so happen to be both asking at the same time, it kind of just has a crap fit and just does nothing, as opposed to at least one of the commands working. Or really, why can't they both work? Why does it just kind of fail to nothing? I think also the Hue lights, the way the Hue lights integrates is good and bad. So natively it works really well. When you want to use the Hue skill to change a colour, it's the biggest load of crap there is. So when you add the Hue skill, it basically takes every possible scene that you've set up for each of the lights you have. So I've got about, and there must be about 20 light bulbs or something. And so that each of those have multiple scenes. So when you add the skill, now Echo thinks I have like 360 smart devices, and I don't. It's just 20 light bulbs. So, so I talk about that in a different video, more about the Philips lights, but this does really apply to the Echo, because that's the implementation that's a flaw really for me. You just want to be able to say, turn the lights blue or turn the lights red or whatever. Don't have to have every customizable possible option as a key trigger. Also in the UK, we still don't have the if this then that service fully supported, so I think a lot of the issues I have could be overcome with that. As I mentioned before, I am really happy with the products, as I wouldn't have bought so many of them, and you're using them. A few things I think are missing that would be really good and shouldn't really be that difficult to do. I would like the option to be able to play the same music to all of the devices. I'd like to have the ability to play separate music to separate devices. Right now it's you play music to one device, as soon as you start playing music to another device, that device turns off and it now starts playing over here. So that is also good for resuming. So if I'm playing music in the house and then when I come to the office I can resume and the music I'm listening to continues, which is great. But it would be good to be able to have separate music, so that there's 4 people that live here, so why do we all have to listen to the same music but only in one room or not the other? So that's annoying. And I think just other things that would be quite handy is perhaps you could use it in intercom. So it knows the names of each device, or each device has a name at least. So when you're upstairs, why couldn't you send a message to Office Dot and say, such and such is at the door or something. I think there's some creative things that you could do with the technology in addition to what's happened already. So I still recommend the Echo and the Echo Dot. If you're going to use this little dot, it does have a built-in speaker. Really it's just a voice, it's not meant for music, and when you play music through it, it is crap, but it's supposed to be, so don't bitch about it. I think one thing that would be nice is as soon as you've either connected audio speaker either via the jack or for Bluetooth, everything comes through that. Now it may sound silly, but I'd quite like it for the voice to still come through this if I wanted it to. So I don't need it to have it coming through the speaker. So if you've got it connected to an amp, for example, you have to have the amp on all the time, or you're never going to hear what this thing has to say. Whereas I'd like it to only have to turn my amp on if I want to listen to music. So if you're thinking about power consumption, you don't need your big beefy amp left on all the time. Just when you want to ask this thing what the time is and everything, you can just do it and not have the amp on. So I think that's something to keep in mind. But I do think that the Echo cylinder itself has a good speaker in it. And the Dot is great to pair it to things. So, this is a third of the price. So if you have Bluetooth speakers, or you've got a good speaker, so there's a video coming, or actually maybe out already, for the HK Aura, Harman Kardon Aura. Great speaker. I have 2 of those paired to 2 of these with Bluetooth. Works really, really well. So I'm happy with it. Just a few things, a few frustrations. And I think as I live with it more, I like to have more opportunities to, provide some feedback, because I think the general kind of question is, this has been out in the US for a while, so why hasn't some of this obvious stuff been fixed? And also, why do some of the updates continue to be only for US customers, not global customers? So I appreciate if the third-party relationship is only US or only Germany or whatever, fine, that should be country-specific. But in general, this is a product that's available in multiple countries. So when you bring out a new feature, it should be available for all. So there you go. Not everything's great, but I'm happy with it and I carry on using it. I'll probably provide some more updates as I use it some more. So hope that was helpful. If you've got an Amazon Echo or an Amazon Echo Dot and you have the same or different opinion, please feel free to leave comments. I'm really interested to hear what you think. So Alexa, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thanks for watching this video. A thumbs up would be really appreciated. If you're interested in other geek type videos, please consider subscribing to Spectrum Geeks. Why not also follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And before you leave, why don't you check out one of these other videos that may be of interest. Thanks again for watching.